Welcome back to ESL Lab Miami. I'm Kathy, and today's podcast topic is conditional sentences. More specifically, we'll be talking about hypothetical statements with the helping verb would. Let's take a look at our examples. If it rains, we won't go to the beach. If Louise won the lottery, he would quit his job. Now, these are both conditional sentences, but they're different types. The first situation is a possible or actual situation. It might rain, we just don't know. The second situation is unreal, or what we like to call hypothetical, because we are just imagining. Louise's chances of winning the lottery are very slim, so he probably won't win. But we're just imagining what he would do if he did win the lottery. We can also say, I don't have much money. If I had more money, I would treat you to lunch. Or, drivers here are not friendly. But if drivers were friendlier, the roads would be safer. What would you do if you won the lottery? What would you buy? Where would you go? I sure know what I'd do if I won. Well, let's take a look at our verb. As you know, won is the simple past form. But we're not talking about the simple past. We're actually talking about present or future time. In the result clause, we use would plus the simple form of the verb. If you want to express this in the past tense, you use the past perfect. For example, if Louise had won the lottery, and then in the result clause, would have plus the past participle of the verb. If Louise had won the lottery, he would have quit his job. This means that Louise bought a ticket and had a chance to win, but he didn't. Wow, you must be thinking English is so confusing. Am I right? Well, remember, we only have a few forms of the verb in English. We don't conjugate all of our verbs for every tense. We only have the simple form, the infinitive form, the gerund, the past tense, and the past participle. So sometimes we use those forms again and again to express other things. We can also say, for example, the students did not study, but if the students had studied, they would have passed their test. Or, to take another example, Jean's parents encouraged him to stay in school. If his parents had not encouraged him, he would have dropped out. Did I say would have? No, I didn't. I used the contraction for would have. Would apostrophe VE. Would have. Well, let's move on to our first exercise. Don't you agree that there are many things that we could be doing to keep our planet clean? Let's read this exercise together. We're going to identify the verbs that use the conditional, and then we're going to figure out if they're in the present tense or the past tense. Let's read it together. There are many actions that Americans can take to conserve energy and protect the environment. Americans would save energy if they drove less or carpooled. They would use less water if they fixed leaky faucets. Also, if they reused bags and containers and used rechargeable batteries, they would create less trash. If Americans had started these habits 50 years ago, the environment would not have become so polluted. Did you find all of the verbs that express the conditional? As you can see, the ones that are in blue are in the present tense, and the ones that are in orange are in the past tense. In exercise 2, let's match the conditions and the results and rewrite the sentences using the correct verb forms. We would use less water, create less trash, save energy, conserve resources at work if we unplug our appliances, fix leaky faucets, use rechargeable batteries, and use email instead of paper. Let's organize these and then rewrite them. Our sentences will read like this. We would use less water if we fixed leaky faucets. We would create less trash if we used rechargeable batteries. We would save energy if we unplugged our appliances. And finally, we would conserve resources at work if we used email instead of paper. Well, there is a lot more to say about the conditional in English, but we'll have to save that for future episodes. If you want to practice this more, please visit my blog, eslmiami.blogspot.com, for practice exercises on the conditional. And, as always, thanks for listening.